20 would beat? I mean, you may make an argument for Pittsburgh because I guarantee you Ohio State would find a way to lose to Pittsburgh. And, yeah, that's right. They would lose. So, number 11 ranked UCF. Are they ranked too high? Or are they only ranked 11 because, they would sue the committee or some stupid crap like that? Yeah, I don't know. I think they're the best in the conference, no doubt. But the conference isn't strong. Only Houston, I would say, is a good chance of giving them their money. I mean, look at these teams. I mean, they're just bad. I mean, Cincinnati 9-2, that's fine, but you got 1-10 teams playing. You got a couple teams over 500, and then Memphis and Houston are over, and Temple and Connecticut, or Temple and Cincinnati. I mean, it's just I don't know. The only way. Well, let me say this actually. I think that eventually the college football playoff will be extended to an 8-team bracket. And you can make many arguments for why it's going to end up like that. I mean, you can have from a business standpoint, it's great for TV providers, for advertising, for all sorts of reasons. It's better because there's more games. There's going to end up being an extra week of college football for us. And it'll, I mean, because we're already going to have football because the NFL season doesn't end until weeks after the college season ends. So you might as well line them up at the same. You might have a little political backlash because the NFL might, then you're competing for TV time with the NFL, so it might be a little restrictive. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't because they're not even playing on the same day. So yeah, I think we should have an 8-team bracket, and if the UCF Knights keep it up, they might be number 8 because you got number 10 teams losing to nobodies by 1 point. So yeah, I say give them a shot. They're just going to keep talking. They're just going to keep winning games against no-name teams. They're going to keep talking about how they're the 2-time national champions. After Alabama wins it this year, they're going to say, "Oh no, we beat Alabama somehow." They're not, and they're just going to keep talking. So why not let them play a team that actually is good? Why not? Why not? And if they, it's a win-win for everyone involved except for them, because when they realize that they can't win against these teams, it'll shut them up, and then life goes on. Things are restored to their natural order. Good teams win good games, and you have underdogs here and there. And who knows, UCF might be one of those underdogs. That's what I'm saying. It's a win-win. Why not let them play? Why not let them play an Alabama team right now? Why not let them play a Clemson or a Michigan or who else is decent? Notre Dame. Why not let them play? Because they're only going to keep talking. And isn't it nothing? I mean, who wouldn't want to see a game where UCF gets their chaps handed to them by a team that's actually good? I think it'd be great. I'd love to see them play Alabama because, they were talking all offseason about, oh, well, we're the real national championships, and then Alabama would say, oh, where's your trophy? And it'd go back and forth. You know what I'm talking about. So why not let them play? Let them play, man. Hashtag let them play. Start the movement. Start the movement, baby. We can do it. I believe we can do it. We can start the movement, folks. You just got to go to Twitter, hashtag the throne room, hashtag let UCF play Alabama. And for nothing else, after they win the national championship, let the practice squad play them. Let the practice squad play UCF, and we'll all sit around with our friends and family and eat popcorn and watch the onslaught. Or not. Or at halftime, Alabama will be tied 10-10. with UCF. And then they'll put in Tua and their 3, 5-star running backs. Oh, and let's not forget all the wide receivers they have, and let's not forget the A1 defense they got that, may or may not be playing bad at this current moment. And then we'll watch the onslaught. It's a simple equation. I can't really say when the 8-team bracket will start, but the simple equation is build an 8-team bracket. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody gets one more week of college football. It won't interfere with the NFL schedule because it'll be on Saturday and not Sunday. As far as I know, NFL is not going to start playing on Saturday. And we get teams that talk a lot of stuff to teams that they shouldn't be talking a lot of stuff to. We'll get to see them play. We'll get to give them a shot. So I think it's good for everybody. What's the harm in letting a team that is bad play a team that's good, and they get humbled? And who knows? We might have the biggest underdog upset I've ever seen in my life. That would be just as entertaining, if not more entertaining. So yeah, give UCF a shot. Anyway, enough of that, I guess. We're going to go to a little fantasy update for you in our league. But it's a complicated bracket because there's just a lot of weird dynamics. We have a player that hasn't annied in their share, so we're kind of debating whether to just count out that game, and I think everyone's played her so far, so we're trying to decide if you've beat her, then we'll take a win off your schedule, or if you lost, we'll take a loss off your schedule. And Seth in particular lost to her somehow, even though his team is stacked. I swear, he has the most stacked team, him and George, and he's just a terrible coach. So shout out to Seth Williams. You're just a bad coach, dude. Just don't quit your day job. Oh wait, you're in college. You don't have one. But yeah, no. So yeah, he's saying we should take it off, so that way he'd be in the playoffs. So I think the dynamic here was because Seth is very close to getting in the top 4, and we're playing with a top 4 playoff bracket. So basically, the top 4 ranked teams based on schedule, and I think point differential is part of it, gets to go to the playoffs, and then we're all playing for like $50 or something. So I need that $50 more than anyone. So shout out if you want me to win. But I think the top 4 right now are Sean, me for sure. I think I'm number 3. So I think it's Sean's number 1, George is number 2, but they have like the same schedule. I'm number 3, and Logan is number 4. So let's see. Sean's 7-2, and let's see. Seth really needed to beat Sean this week to be 6-4. And if George beats Logan, they will also be 6-4, and I think that puts Seth in the playoffs because of point differential. And then George will stay in the playoffs at 8-2. I'm on bye right now, but I think I'm also 7-3. Yeah, I think I'm 7-3. So we'll have, me and Logan will be, well, no, George will beat Logan and he'll be 6-4, and I'll be 7-3. Yeah, I'll be 7-3, and so I'll still be in the playoffs. Sean will be 7-3 if Seth beats him, and then that'll make him 6-4, so he'll be in the playoffs. And then the playoff bracket will be me tied with Sean at 7-3. Well, it'd be George at 8-2. Then me and Sean tied for second and third, and then Seth would be 6-4. which would be tied for Logan, but point differential puts him up. Because he had some really good games. I mean, he's been scoring, I think his highest is like 169, or 150, 160 something, and it was just ridiculous. He was on a bye week too, which is kind of sad. But other than that, I think everyone else has pretty much given up. That people just stopped playing. Like John from the first episode and Bryson from the first episode have just, I mean, they're going to barely get over 40 points this week because they didn't put anyone in. I mean, come on, John's like 1-8, so it's basically a easy bye week. Keaton, sorry man, you're not gonna be over 50%. Peyton, who hasn't paid, that's the one we're kind of iffy about. But yeah, so basically, if Seth was just complaining because if he didn't make it to the playoffs, that's why he wanted to take off his loss to Peyton and everyone else's win to Peyton, because that would still put him in the playoffs, and we'd have to redo the whole thing and basically write out our own bracket, and whoever had the highest points wins, basically. And I mean, I don't really care because I would still be in the playoffs, but I want to have the extra win on my schedule. But yeah, so we're having a bye week. Saquon Barkley, though, did outstanding this week. He had like 30-something points. So I'm really happy about that. He's averaging a little over 17. Jared Goff's averaging a little over 21. So I'm glad I picked those are my first two picks, so I'm glad they're doing good. Juju, a little bit of a bust with a 10-point average, but Kerryon Johnson's got a 10-point average. Tyler Lockett's got a 10-point average. And you know, I usually play James White because he's got a 13. I can't really play TJ Yeldon anymore now that Leonard Fournette's in, so I'll probably drop him at the end of this week. But I got a big game coming up because I play... let's see, I think I play Nico next. I don't know. Who do I play next? Next week, I play Nico, who's 5-4 this week. He'll probably win his game, but he's having a slow week. I think not even going to get over 60. So it'll be a good game, though. I beat him first game of the season by like 12 points. So shout out to Nico for getting totally destroyed by someone that everyone slept on. I was like an 80-point average team overall, and everyone was like, nah, you're not stacked. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I got some sleepers. At the time, I had Greg Olsen, and he was hurt for 6 weeks. I kept him because I knew he'd be back, and then he's scored a touchdown in almost every one of his games since he's been back. So, then after that, I play Logan. Somehow Logan beat me, but he's not a terrible team. He somehow wins. He's 6-3. He'll be 6-4 after this game, so I got to beat him. If I lose to him twice, man, I'll feel really bad. And then after that, we start playoffs. So it'll be a good next 2 weeks. It'll be interesting to see how that works up. Anyway, yeah, sorry that Nico and Seth couldn't be on. We just got busy, and I kind of put off even starting to record because I was, procrastinating and watching TV, and I just finished my calculus homework, so I kind of was just enjoying the rest of my weekend before I have to go to class in the morning. But yeah, we're going to Thanksgiving this week, going back home Tuesday. It'll be a good break from all the highly acidic math and science that I'm having to go through, which is fine. I mean, that's what I signed up for, and I love math, and I've always been good at science, haven't always been good at math, but that's because we had a terrible algebra teacher. Anyway, but calculus is great. I actually enjoy learning how to do certain stuff, learning how to apply different derivatives and integrals and such. And, of course, I've always hated chemistry, so I can't wait for physics next semester. But anyway, this is not a engineering podcast. This is a sports